welcome to the LuvKnotz podcast. This is our very first podcast, and we are very happy to have you. My name is Rachel Strutman. I'm the owner of LuvKnotz, and I started my business about 6 years ago after, I think right before my first son was born. I have a lot to share with you. I am a hooker, a naughty knitter, a spinster, and an indie dyer. My personality takes a lot of getting used to, I think. I tend to be very outspoken and not think before I speak. So I'm sorry if I offend anyone or if I curse, for God's sakes, because I'm very uncensored. So, yeah, I may use a little language, but I'll try not to. Throughout my podcast, you may see one of three of my children, or all of them. I have two boys. One is 6. His name is Ewan. One is 3. His name is Rory. And my third child is my puppy. He is a German Shepherd, and his name is Pluto. Yes, Mickey's dog Pluto. Even though he's not yellow, he's a German Shepherd. So, but he is super cute. Right now, everyone's passed out. Happy Easter, everyone. They have had a lot of fresh air and a lot of fun outside playing at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and they're, picking up Easter eggs. So they have had a blast today. Now they're knocked out, and Mommy's doing her podcast. Yay! I'm doing this podcast for a couple of different reasons. I don't have a very large fiber artist group in St. Louis. I know there is a knitting group in St. Louis, a very large one. There's also a spinning group, but I actually live right outside of downtown St. Louis. And with the kids and work and doing my yarny thing, it's a little hard for me to get out and to, go spend hours at a time knitting somewhere at our local yarn shops or whatever, where everyone does their thing. So really, it's a chance for me to connect with other fiber artists, with knitters, crocheters, and also to get my name out there. My business has grown quite a bit in the past 5 years, but I'm actually doing a new launch of some gradient dyed yarns. I started crocheting a long time ago, then got into knitting, then got into spinning, then got into dyeing my own fibers, and now I'm dyeing my own yarns. So more about that later. I also have a very large giveaway to show you guys and to launch this evening. I'm so excited. The giveaway will last a month. All you really need to do is like and share a few things, and I'll show you all of the yummy, scrumptious, yarny prizes that are available to win. I'll show you some of my works in progress, my FOs, what I'm casting on, and I also want to share some about the podcast that I watch. I want to do a question and answer section. That's actually in my Ravelry group at LuvKnotz podcast group. And anything you guys want to know about me or about my yarns or pretty much anything, post there. Let me know what you'd like to know, and I'd be glad to answer here on the podcast. You can find me as LuvKnotz on Etsy, LuvKnotz on Ravelry, LuvKnotz on Facebook, at LuvKnotz on Instagram. I love Instagram. I don't know. I just got into that. At LuvKnotz on Twitter. I'm mostly on Facebook, but I try to check everything. So later on, I'll have a slide that shows everyone my Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that so that you can follow me. But pretty much it's LuvKnotz. If you just Google me, there I am. So, a little bit about me first. I started to crochet when I was really little. My grandmother taught me. Her name was Doris. I'm going to need to stop saying because that's really annoying, I'm sure. So Grandma taught me how to crochet. I made these god-awful tiny little blankets for my dolls that really ended up all sorts of like strangely weird, and I have one somewhere. I gave it to my son for his teddy bear, but Lord knows I couldn't find it, so I don't know where it is. So Grandma taught me how to crochet, and I actually learned how to knit and spin and dye all on my own using using YouTube. So when I was pregnant with my first son, Ewan, I decided I was going to pick up knitting needles because I saw all these cute little baby knit items that I wanted to make. So I started out making myself a scarf, and I never finished it. It was so hard for me to do. So I put that away, and a little bit after that, my grandmother passed, and you know, whenever the family was there divvying up her items and you know, taking what they wanted for remembering her, they found her knitting and crochet hooks and needles, and they gifted them to me, though I don't really believe that that was what I was gifted. I picked up her crochet hooks and never put them down again. I take them everywhere with me. They are like attached at my hip at all times. I really picked it up and started my business, and I really feel like that was what she gifted me when she passed, and I'm very grateful. I have my hand spun yarns and some hand dyed yarns that I just launched today in my Etsy shop. So www.etsy.com/shop/LuvKnotz, and you can see some of my pretties in there. These are some hand spun yarns. This one's plied with a like a metallic thread. I have quite a few bulky yarns. I like to make really chunky knit hats, so I have quite a few super bulkies in there. But I also do have some worsted weight. I'm trying to get some fingering weight in there, but honestly, every time I put a fingering weight hand spun in my shop, it's gone. So I'll try to get some more out there, but for now I've got some worsted weight, some DK weights, little rainbow. Everyone loves rainbow. If you don't love rainbow, there's something wrong with you. Here's some fun little Eastery colors, some spring colored ones. And of course, we have some silk and such like that. Most of my hand spun yarns are purely merino. Merino is my favorite to handle. It's so soft and squishy and lovely. So there are some of my hand spuns. Definitely not all of them. God knows I have tons in there. And if you're feeling like you really want to buy some of my hand spuns out of my Etsy shop, send me a combo or message me on Ravelry, and I will give you a lovely coupon code, because I'm trying to get rid of some of my hand spun. I'm trying to destash it a little bit because I'm launching my new gradient line of dyed yarns, which are right here. Oh, this one is, oh, there we go. This one is lime, aqua, and peacock blue. This one is a lovely Kelly green, a sand color and then a gray. I also have some Stellina yarns. These are all sock weight, but I do have some worsted weights in there. I'm working on getting the DK. So this is my violet, hot pink, orange, and yellow. And there's a little sparkle in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's not really showing up too hot, but it's in there, and it's a lot of it. I personally love using these gradient dyed yarns for shawls and scarves and all sorts of lovely things. Hats. I'm going to make one of those, what is it called? A sockhead hat out of one of these gradient dyed yarns, which I'll show you. I actually bought that from the yarn store a couple of weekends ago. But this one's actually a Wilton dyed. I dyed it from their violet color. Just dipped it in a little dip dye action. It was kind of fun. Pretty easy. But yeah, so those are some that are in my shop right now. I have, I believe, 18 of them right now. So I'm only going to list every 2 weeks with my gradients. Get them while they're hot because they're probably going to go fast. And I'm not going to, list any that I don't actually have on hand. So it'll ship right away. So again, locally here, we don't have a big fiber artist group. There's been a couple of knit groups that I've been to. One, we met at a place called the Boogaloo, which is a Jamaican restaurant. We called ourselves the Boogaloo Crochet Mob, even though there were knitters there too. And we'd go in, we'd sit down, we'd eat some food, have some drinks. We have a lot of drinks, and then a lot of more drinks, and then it got too hard to knit or crochet. So I had to stop going all the time because I was drinking too much to be able to participate. There's also another one out locally, more locally to me, that's not like a half-an-hour drive. But again, with the kids, it's really hard. I feel bad taking them with me to knit group. Does anybody do that? I don't know. I just don't want them bothering people while they're trying to relax and knit. But they meet at Starbucks. I'll probably be going this Thursday to see about it. But, I really just don't have a real group around here. So I'm really hoping to interact with you guys, to make friends, to, share projects with you guys and help in any way that I can. So we do have some local yarn shops here in St. Louis. They're mostly about 45 minutes away from me, which is terrible. But there was one in St. Charles, which is closer to me, but it closed, which I got a little bit of a stash from them before they closed. They actually had like a 50% off sale, so I got some yarns. And there's one in Kirkwood, which is the Kirkwood Knittery, and that one does not have a very good selection. I've been in there twice. I went in looking once for some cashmere to make some gloves for my sister and my mom for Christmas. They didn't have any cashmere. Any cashmere. Are you kidding me? How are you a yarn shop and you don't have any cashmere? Might as well be Michael's. Sorry. We also do have Knittorious, which is a fabulous yarn shop. I love it. They have a huge selection. The people there are fantastic. They have a room in the back where they have spin-ins. They have, you can just go in there and sit down and knit. You can do whatever. So I did have, a few weeks ago, one of my friends, Amanda Loggins, she came into town, and we went to Knittorious and got some yarns, and I'll show you what I'm making with those. So I knit, crochet, and spin to relax. It is my stress relief. I have huge anxiety problems. I don't know if anybody else does. It's I think, a common problem, but I work a full-time job. I take care of my 2 boys on my own. My mother's a very big help. She really is. Without my family, I just wouldn't be able to handle anything. But it's really just me and the boys and our dog. So, when I'm not taking care of them, I'm knitting or I'm crocheting and I'm relaxing and making something. That's my outlet, my creative outlet, and my anxiety outlet. So, obviously you can see, I think so. I have a lot of tattoos. And I do have a bit of a cursing problem. What else about me? I don't really like to talk about myself. I don't know if anybody else is like that. If you have questions, ask, because I'm not going to sit here and self-loathe. So the weather on Easter today is gorgeous. It's been a little rainy, but you know what they say, April showers bring me flowers. So I guess I'm totally okay with that, even though I hate rain and I hate snow. But you know what they say about Missouri, just if you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change. So a little bit about the podcasters I watch. I am absolutely in love with a few here that I watch. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that I watch. I literally stalk these people's YouTubes. If they posted every day, I'd be watching every day. I watch a couple of other people, but these are the people that I watch and stalk. So Knicks Knits, Nick. Hi, Nick. He's doing a fun giveaway for people who are knitting socks. And I am knitting my first pair of socks for this giveaway. I'm also double dipping into the Bakery Bears giveaway as well. But recently on the last podcast, Nick, you asked if anybody else wanted to offer up an item for the giveaway. And I decided that I would love to gift this skein of hand-dyed yarn. Let me take this off because it's mostly gray, but it has a fluorescent rainbow in it, which I think would be great stripy socks. So I'm totally keeping one of these for myself, but I do want to offer you, Nick, to give away one of my hand-dyed skeins of sock weight. So just message me on where I can send it to you, and I will get that out to you so you can offer that for the giveaway. As I said, I also watch Bakery Bears. Hi, Kay and Dan. I actually offered them some hand spun, but they turned me down. So I don't know if they already have a lot of giveaway items or what, but I am going to be casting on a Mrs. Bakery Bear. I bought the pattern a couple of weeks ago, but of course, none of my 100,000 skeins that I have of yarn fits that item. So I needed to go buy some more. So I went and bought some Malabrigo yarn, which I'll show you in a little bit. And I also want to try her shawl. I can't remember the name. It starts with an M. But I've got some DK weight on its way to me so that I can buy that pattern and try her shawl. Knitting in Circles. Amy and Darren, hello. I absolutely love your guys' persona together, your chemistry. You guys are hilarious. And I just recently messaged Darren on Ravelry and asked him about the sockhead hat, because I'm sure he said sockhead hat like 15,000 times on on the episode, but I just mesmerized by how cute the hat was that I wasn't really paying attention. He was very nice and messaged me back that the sock hat was a free pattern on Ravelry. And so I'm going to be casting on one of those, and I'll show you the yarn I'm going to use for that. Dark Matter Knits. Hi, Liz. I love your personality and your quirkiness. I also have a baritone voice, so I'm not a hater on the baritone voice. I know you were talking about how loud you have to scream in a room. I don't know if you can hear, but my voice is a little hoarse today. When my family gets together, we have 6 people in our family, 4 kids, our parents, and then we have 7 grandchildren. It is mass and utter chaos. So if you want to talk, you're screaming. And that was this morning. So sorry that my voice is a little hoarse today. But I do have a baritone voice, and you know, I don't know if you've ever gotten this or not, but a lot of people tell me that I should run an 800 line. Little strange, but also flattering, sure. Let's see, JunkYarn. Kimber, hello. You are a total McNerd, and I love it. You're a McNerd, just like me, and I enjoy watching your McNerdiness. I can't wait to see your wedding photos. Can't wait to see your wedding dress. So excited about that. And your love of Adventure Time has got me hooked, because I went and actually bought some of the seasons. My kids are obsessed. They sing the song all the time. They call our dog Jake, and they walk around saying that they're Finn. It's absolutely adorable. So thank you for that new love. I have to say that this is by far my favorite person to watch. And even though he's only got 3 episodes out, I'm really enjoying every single one of them that he's putting out. And that is the Sockmatician, Nathan. I'm super excited to start trying double knitting. I've never done it before. It looks easy enough to get and understand, but I don't know. I'm very hesitant. Plus, I have to find yarn. You always have to find yarn for these projects. But one of my friends on Facebook, who is absolutely obsessed with Star Wars, Dan, you might want to listen, has sent me a photo of a double knit. Oh dear, I'm playing with glue here and I just got it everywhere. Hands down. Sent me a picture of a double knit Star Wars scarf. That is awesome. Freaking awesome. He wants me to make it for him. So I told him I would try, simply because it's just Star Wars and it's awesome. So, and it's, you know, we're going into summer, so I have plenty of time to get it to him. I'm sure it will take me quite a long time. But it's so cool. I'm very excited to start that. And I probably will have to make myself one because it's Star Wars. It's probably the coolest scarf I'll ever own in my life. Another thing about Nathan, in his second episode, he posted some of the video from his musical wedding. And he had a little warning in there that it was going to be a tearjerker. But I guess I didn't realize that I was going to bawl my eyes out. I mean, once Ben started to cry, I was done for. I was done for. The tears were everywhere. I was like, this is... I just was a blubbering mess after that. I don't really know what the rest of the episode said, because I was crying through the whole thing. Absolutely ridiculous. But Nathan, don't freak out. But I do stalk your podcast. Like, super stalker. Want to watch all the time. Now, in your last episode, the third one, you were talking about you meet up with some of your friends and you knit and you eat cake. You said the magic word, cake. Like the fat girl in me was just like, did someone say cake? I have to have it. That's the best idea ever. Knitting and cake? Yes, I must start a knitting and cake group. A must do. It's a fat girl high five. Thank you, Nathan. And thank you for answering my question on your podcast about if you'd ever used hand spun or if you'd ever thought about spinning your own yarn. I think you did really well with the yarns that you showed on your podcast. I thought they looked pretty good. So I'd like to see more, but I understand you're busy double knitting. The last person I want to talk about is Amanda Loggins, Stitching Ewe More. She is a very good friend of mine. We've been friends for about 7 years. We met playing World of Warcraft. Yes, gamer nerd. And we actually had never met in person. We just met last month for the first time. She came up to St. Louis from Arkansas, sideways. I don't know. Where's Arkansas? That way? I don't know. Somewhere. She came and spent the weekend with us here, and we went to the St. Patrick's Day Parade together, had a blast, went to a local yarn shop, bought a ton of yarn, way too much, spent way too much. She spent more than me by like $3. But she's totally my bestie, and I just wanted to give her a little shout out. She's got a podcast too, Stitching Ewe More. So I do have a question for my fellow podcasters, and that is there any one thing you can't get enough of making? I am completely obsessed. There are 2 things that I absolutely love making. There's always one working. I can't stop. First is these knit head wraps. They are a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called Gray Gardens. I don't remember who. Knitty.com, I believe. It's on their blog. I love these things. This one's made out of Malabrigo in the Hummingbird colorway. But as for crochet, I am obsessed with teddy bears. Teddy bears. They're absolutely adorable. I love them. Hello. Yes. Hi, teddy bear. This is a Sid Run pattern. It's a paid pattern on, it's on Ravelry and Etsy. I think I bought it off of Etsy. It's actually her long-legged bunny pattern. And then on her blog, she has the changes to make it a bear with the ears and the nose and the eyes. But I just absolutely love these things. They're adorable. Hi. And I made them for my boys. And then I've made some for friends as well and their babies and such. But I'm absolutely obsessed with making those 2 things. And I just wanted to, shout out to you guys. Find out, what do you like making? Is there something that you cannot get enough of making? So stash enhancements. I have been really bad lately. I know I dye my own yarns, and I spin my own yarns, but I love buying yarn. I recently bought these. Okay, first, it started my first pair of socks. And then I thought, I need to buy more sock yarn, because these are fun. I never thought I would wear a pair of hand knit socks, because why would you make something so wonderful and then put it on your feet? I just don't understand. But they're fun, just like Kimber said. So, after starting my first pair of socks, which I haven't even finished yet, my friend AJ from AJ's Handmade Creations on Facebook and Etsy. I bought some of her sock yarns. This one is called Exploding Tardis. I am a huge Doctor Who fan. Old school Doctor Who, not the new one. I really can't get into the new one. But old school Doctor Who, my dad used to watch when we were kids. So, Ace is my favorite sidekick. My computer's name is Ace. And the password's Doctor Who. But this is Exploding Tardis. And I thought, well, my dad loves Doctor Who. I made him a really big, long Doctor Who scarf knit for Christmas, and he loves it. So I thought, I'll knit him a pair of socks for this year for Christmas. So I bought that. And then I thought, well, maybe my mom will wear a pair of socks. I don't know why I was so stupid to think that I should buy yarn to make my mother a pair of socks, because she never wears socks. She's always got her shoes off. If she's not wearing heels, she's got her shoes off. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. But I will use this for something else. Maleficent. I don't know, you could see the purple in there. Oh my goodness. It's the Maleficent colorway. So pretty. She's also got a colorway on there that I didn't get to buy. I didn't see the yardage that I needed for a project, so I may have to go back and take another look. But Deep Space is a really awesome colorway that she's got on her Etsy store. And I will link all of these shops down in the show notes so that you can go visit if you'd like. Also, I purchased some new stitch markers from Joe Cole, who is the owner of What the Flock Hand-Dyed Yarns. And yes, that has got to be the coolest name ever for a shop. So he posted on Facebook these Walking Dead stitch markers. I about died. I don't know about you, but I love The Walking Dead. So I got, oh, they're like Hello Kitty too. They're like Hello Kitty Walking Dead. There's Michonne. I got all my favorites. Here's Daryl. Carl. Here's a little Walker kitty. Oh dear. Oh, and on the back it's got like blood splatter. Oh, gotta figure out this camera thing. There's a little Walker kitty. Oh, and Rick. Can't leave Rick out. But I got my faves. He was generous and gave me exactly the stitch markers I wanted. So he's got quite a bit of hand-dyed yarns. He's got some really pretty colorways, stitch markers, all sorts of things. He's just got lovelies. He dips into everything. So thank you, Joe. Let's see, the last thing I got was my project bag from RainStorm Studios. Christine Matthews was absolutely fabulous. I sent her a picture of my fabric that I wanted in a bag, and she whipped it up, bought the fabric, whipped it up, and sent it right back out to me in no time. I was so geeked out excited about it. It was fabulous. Actually, I have two projects in here. But this is my bag. And it's got the little handle on it. I love these things. I actually use this when I'm going like into the hobby store or whatever, I just throw my wallet in here, whoop, go right into the store. But it's got a little window on it so you can see which project is inside. I'm actually knitting another turban here. So those are all my stash enhancements. I've been trying to be good, but I have actually, you know, bought quite a bit lately. I needed some new sock yarns. So what I'm working on, my whips. Let's see. Let me show you my socks. I haven't gotten very far. I've been really busy with getting my gradient dyed yarns out, so I've been working on that almost all week and working on getting my podcast together. So I haven't gotten very far on my socks, but they are my next project to whip up. I am using, did I write it down? I didn't write it down. I'm using Tess yarn. I don't remember the colorway, but this is the yarn. It's very pretty. I can't believe I didn't put that in here. Oh well. But I've got them on my Chagu needles. And this is as far as I've gotten. This is my first sock. First ever sock. Never have I ever knitted socks. But they're fun. They're super fun. I can't wait to finish these. I may end up knitting on these whenever I get done with my podcast. But I'm just doing the free pattern, what is it called? Hermione's Everyday Socks. They're free pattern on Ravelry. I thought that it would look really good with this yarn. So that'll be fun when they're finished. I'm hoping that I won't be too afraid to wear them. I'd really like to actually wear them. So I'm also working on another turban that's actually for the giveaway. So it's the same colorway as the one I'm wearing right now. It's Malabrigo, 100% merino, in the hummingbird colorway. And so there's some purples, greens, black. It's an interlac knit, but it's super fun. And once you get the hang of it, you just, boom, go, go, go. It's wonderful. It's definitely a TV knit where you can just sit and go. But I don't suggest doing it while drinking. I had a little problem with that the other day. Yeah, a little bit of a hot mess. Yes, Ewan. Okay. Yep, you can open that. So this one is my, let's see here. It's my son Ewan. He is playing with his Easter toys. Do you want to come say hello?
Hi.
Hi. Okay.
What's his name?
I'm just taking a video.
Oh.
Oh. Try to be quiet, okay? Alright, so I got this yarn whenever Amanda was in town at the notorious local yarn shop around here. It's a Vice yarn. Sorry, it's all finagled because I put two things in one bag. Blurred Lines Fingering White, and it's in the colorway Boogie Nights. Now this has just got like the rest of a little bit of purple in there, some hot pink, and a mauve left. Still a pretty good amount of yardage. I've knit quite a bit on this. But this is the, and you know, since it's a gradient dye and they do it out of these sock blanks, it's all like wrinkly. So it'll look completely different once I block it. But I'm doing the Wrap It Up Buttercup shawl pattern on Ravelry. It's a paid pattern. But I mean, you can't really see the stitch definition because of the wrinkly yarn. But here's, at least you can see like the color changes. It goes from like a navy blue to a peacock blue to an aqua to a dark purple to a light purple to an amethyst type color. And then we'll get the hot pink and the mauve in there too. So pretty sure this 500 yard skein is going to be enough, but it calls for 600 in a worsted weight, and I decided to make one in fingering weight for summer. So I'm not sure, you can't really tell the stitch definition, especially on the lacy one. Okay, well, it's really long and it's very pretty, and I'm super excited to finish that and block it. I should have that for my next podcast. Should be my FO. Let's see. I've been doing a lot of yarn dyeing and spinning, and so I haven't really had a lot of knitting going on. Okay, sorry about that. Had a little kid extravaganza in here. So I got them settled. Let's see. So I've been doing all my dyeing and a little bit of spinning, so I don't really have a ton of knitting going on, but I'm really hoping to get some other things cast on. And, you know, I used to be a monogamous maker. Like, when I'm crocheting or knitting something, I used to work on just that. But after watching all of your guys' podcasts and you're switching from project to project to project to project, I was like, dude, I can do that. That sounds like fun. Like, I always get, you know, you get 75% of a project done. Sometimes it just ends up in a little bin somewhere because I'm tired of working on it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to cast on something else or start crocheting something else. And it's really fun. I have fun. So I have quite a few things going on right now. What I have finished. I made this hat. It's just out of acrylic. But it's my own pattern. I did a little cable brim. And then I did a knit one, purl two for the rest of the hat. It's a slouch hat. Just some acrylic from the store. I think this is Vanna's Choice. But it'll be a pattern out in my Etsy and Ravelry store. I have a couple in there right now that are mostly baby items. Like a little dinosaur hat, some elf hats, stuff like that. This is another one I'll probably have out in my Etsy store soon. It's the same type of hat, but this one doesn't have the cable brim. It's just got, you know, a knit 2 purl 2 rib for the brim, and then it's got the knit 1 purl 2 for the rest of the hat. This one's out of some of my fingering weight hand spun, but it's got some purples. It's really pretty. I've worn this once. I don't really wear my items a lot. These I wear all the time because I can, you know, just throw my hair up and throw this on. It's definitely a cool mommy thing because sometimes mommy doesn't want to do her hair, or when we're, you know, going to the park or whatever, just throw this on so I can, you go play, and I can sit here and knit. So those are a couple of my hats, and the patterns will be coming out soon. I will be casting on my bakery bear. I bought some, which I use just for this project, and I got some Maleficent yarn in a semi-solid, like a burnt orange color. I actually took my 2 boys to the yarn shop whenever Amanda and I went, and my son Rory, who's 3, I let him pick out the yarn for my bakery bear, my Mrs. Bakery Bear. He wanted to, he kept touching all the yarns and loved the colors. And so I showed him the wall that had the Malabrigo on it and told him that he could pick a color for my bear. I'm sorry, my nose and face and everything itches right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. So he picks out this color at first. And he says, Mommy, make the bear out of this color. Then he picked, I think, a blue. And he said, make the arms out of this color. And then he picked out a purple. And he said, make the ears out of this color. And I'm, whoa, 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 buddy. This teddy bear's getting expensive. At $20 a pop. We don't need an $80 bear. So let's just stick with one. I told him to pick which one he liked the best. This is the one we picked. So I'm hopefully casting that on this week since things are calming down in dye land. I also, when we went to the yarn shop, I got this Vice yarn because I wasn't sure with my shawl. The skein that I'm using has only 500 yards and it calls for 600. So I wasn't sure I would have enough. So I bought this one because it's the same colorway, only backwards. So I thought, oh, you can't really see it in there. Darn it, this little thing is awesome, but it's the same colorways, except for it's backwards. So it's got the mauve and the hot pink, the purples, the light blue, the darker blue. So I thought, I could just use it from this side to finish off, use it from the middle to finish off, and then use the rest for something else. This is what I'm going to do my sockhead hat out of. A little gradient sockhead hat. Super excited about that. So then I have this, which I just finished this week, my turban. I knit one of these a while back, and I used to wear it all the time. I went to a craft show, and this young girl was just in awe of it. She loved it. So I sold it to her because, I don't know, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker, and I like to give things away. I really like to give things away. I have a problem. I'm really nice. And I can be really mean. I mean, I'm not always nice. But I do like to share my yarny. I do. So the biggest thing I want to talk about is the giveaway. Check out my Facebook page. It'll launch this evening just after 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it will go until Cinco de Mayo at midnight. So because of my Etsy relaunch, I really want to get my name out there. I love giving things away. I love being able to share the fact that I can, create things like this, dye yarns. And with how much I dye, I should never ever have to buy yarn again. But I just love giving it away. I mean, my friend Amanda can attest. When I get new yarns, I'm like, ooh, what colors do you want? Let me dye one for you. And she gets a lot of free yarn from me. But I got some project bags from her too. So I really wanted to share with you guys and let you share with everyone else. So what the giveaway is, it's really simple. It's Rafflecopter. Just go to my Facebook page, and I'll link it down in the show notes as well. But it's really easy. You'll get an entry to share via Facebook, an entry to like my page via Facebook, an entry to like Amanda's page via Facebook because she donated a project bag to give away. an entry to follow via Pinterest, an entry to subscribe via YouTube, an entry to tweet, an entry to follow via Twitter, an entry to share via Instagram, and an entry to follow via Instagram. So potentially you have, I don't know if I put my Etsy store on there or not. I don't know. Potentially you have 9 or 10 entries. So totally up to you. You can do one, you can do them all. It doesn't matter. You know, well, we have a lot of things to win. I think it depends on how well it goes, whether I'm going to split up the items or not, or if I'll enter more. There may be more by the end of the, you know, the month that we're doing this. So firstly, the first item that is on the winner chicken dinner, what you're gonna win. Firstly, a hand knit turban by me out of Malabrigo yarn in the hummingbird colorway. Don't act like it's not pretty, because it's gorgeous. You'll get a hand spun skein of yarn by me. This is a thick and thin bulky weight yarn out of 100% merino. This tag says 116 yards, 3.9 ounces. And it's a lovely, it's browns, some beige. It's got a little bit of green in there, kind of a, I don't know, it's got a really deep orange, like a burnt orange in there too. I thought that was very gender neutral. Also giving away a hand-dyed skein, so you'll get one of these, and it's not the sparkle yarn, it's superwash merino and nylon, 80/20, 100 grams at 463 yards, so you'll get one of these as well. You'll also get this lovely project bag made by Stitching Ewe More, Amanda Loggins. So it's just a cinch top bag. It's perfect for socks. It's got a nice flat bottom. I can't stand when the bottom's not flat of my project bag because I like to just, boom, let it sit, pull the yarn out. So it's got this lovely stamps fabric on the outside. Sorry, it's wrinkly. I just washed it, so I'll have to iron it. And it's also got this chevron pink on the inside. Sorry guys, I know it's a little rainbowy around here, but and pinky. I also dipped into doing some stitch markers out of polymer clay. So I have 4 stitch markers and a polymer clay crochet hook that I'm going to give away as well. This one is being a stinker. Stop being a stinker. So I have an H crochet hook, and if you don't crochet, I'm sorry, but you know, you can't really do polymer clay on knitting needles. It just, personally, I like a quick knitting needle, so polymer clay being on there is not going to help. But here's your, it's an a boy H crochet hook, and it's got a blue and green kind of splattered cuff on here so that it's a little thicker. Personally, I put my thumb right here when I crochet, so, you know, it's right there and gives you a little extra padding. It's pretty. A little unique. And the stitch markers are cooperate with me, please. Little yarn balls that I made. Stitch markers. They're so cute. I'm also going to put these in my shop. I haven't put them up yet, but I do have, you know, lots of rainbow happening here. Quite a few. They'll be in sets of 4. You can't even really see that one. But they're fun. They're fun to make. They're easy to make. And I think they're freaking adorable. So if I didn't have my little Walking Dead stitch markers here, I'd be using those. So you'll get the stitch markers, the project bag, the hand-dyed skein, the hand-spun skein, and the turban. And all you have to do is like us on Facebook. Share a little bit. You know, whatever. However much you want to enter, you're welcome to do that. However much you want to share, you're welcome to do that. You know, it's really just about me getting my name out there for my gradient dyes, and you know, me sharing with you guys. I'm really excited to get into community with and make our own community here on Ravelry and on YouTube, and get to know you guys really well. So I really want to lick this, but I'm not going to. It's so pretty. I know they're boyish colors, but it's lovely. Lovely. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys return. I'll probably podcast, I don't know, I may do every week. Definitely every 2 weeks. But I will only be updating my Etsy shop every 2 weeks with gradient dyes. I will be posting on the Ravelry group, LuvKnotz Podcast, when my updates occur the night before I podcast. That way you can have a little heads up when the gradient dyes are coming out, so you can have a little sneak peek. So I really hope you join us there on the LuvKnotz Podcast Ravelry group. And if you want to find me on Ravelry, I'm LuvKnotz. I really hope that you guys return next time and that I can get to know you well. I hope to hear back from some of my fellow podcasters about what you guys are obsessed with making over and over and over again. I'd love to have some questions for next podcast, so in the Ravelry group, just post whatever questions you've got, and I'm really excited about the giveaway. Can't wait to see how many entries we get. So, you know, we may have to up the prizes if we get quite a few. Well, it's been fun, guys. I'll see you in a week or two.